Welcome to the Focal Academy. I'm Andy from the Foolish Couple, and today we're continuing our series, the Mind and Body Connection series, with our special guest, Crystal Hinton, who's a theta healer. And in the first episode, that your body is always talking to you, we talked about that your body is literally always talking to you, but we just don't know what it's saying. And she talked a little bit about the two types of body that talking to each other on an ongoing basis, the energy body and the physical body. And if anyone missed the first episode, make sure you go back to the first episode to see what that's all about. But today, Crystal's going to share with us the difference between positive energy and negative energy.
Yep. So I'm going to explain why it's important too, because again, our body's always talking to us, but positive energy period is really based on your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs. So positive energy is based on having thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that make you feel good, make you feel great. I always like to say they're lightweight. So they make you feel weightless, or like you're, on cloud nine is a great way to describe it. Okay. Whereas negative energy is going to, which are those thoughts, beliefs, and feelings, are going to make you feel very heavy. And they're going to drag you down, and weigh you down. So when we look at this, this is important because our body is a magnet. And I love that description that people have said. And I feel like all of us at one point in our lives have played with two magnets, and we've held them close together, and you're like, oh my God, they're sucking to each other. And then they go boop and they attract. Okay. And so our body is that magnet, and our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are that charge on how powerful that magnet is. But that magnet is always on. So whatever our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are, then we're going to attract its like. So those positive energy is going to attract its like experience, whereas that negative energy is going to then cause you to attract those like heavy, weighed down experiences. So, we want to look at things that way, that the positive energy is going to attract it and the negative energy is going to attract it. And our body will do that based on our thoughts, beliefs, and our feelings. But also your body is just simply responding to that, those energies, whether they be positive or negative, whatever you think, believe, and feel, your body is going to do. Okay. So when we look at inflammation has to do with feeling immobilized or stuck or just, being stagnating. Okay. And so on the positive end of spectrum, when we look at, positive energy, it would be something like there's always a feel good way. So that statement, that belief system, that is going to elevate you, and it makes you feel lighter. Like just thinking about there's always a feel great way, And so also when we look at the feelings like anything that's going to get you out of that stagnation, all right, and immobilization. So happiness, joy, being open-minded, being flexible and adaptable, those types of feelings will help elevate you out of inflammation. Whereas there are other negative energies, again, thoughts, feelings, beliefs, that are going to weigh you down and create more inflammation. And those are going to be like a good belief system for that to describe it is, that's just how it is. So the more you tell yourself, that's just how it is. I have no control. I can't do anything about it. Those types of things keep you in that stuck energy. And so the feelings also that can be tied to that are resentment, regret, feeling powerless or hopeless. All of that keeps you like locked in a certain position. So when you have those feelings and thoughts, and again, that magnet begins to attract more. And that's when we end up like kind of spiraling down the toilet, Whereas once we start having those feel good emotions, thoughts, beliefs, feelings, then we begin to spiral upward and we feel lighter and lighter, more happier, more joyful. So this is why it's so important for us to monitor, what we're telling ourselves if we're in positive energy or negative energy, because we always want to spiral up. Like we never want to go down the toilet, right?
Correct. That's amazing. And I think that's a great way to put it. You're talking about that, like our body is like a magnet. It's always attracting energy. And my wife and I, me and Minna, we always talk about the power of attraction. And the thoughts, feelings, beliefs that you're talking about, that is going to attract either negative or positive energy, right? And for the positive energy, what you're saying, like what was a good thought?
There's always a feel-good solution.
Oh, there's always a good feel-good solution. I love that. There's always a feel-good solution. Even if you're feeling a little down, you can just turn it around and say there's always a feel-good solution, as opposed to saying that's the way it always is. And on top of that, I'm getting more and more people saying, well, it's because I'm getting older. That's the other common one that I hear all the time. They blame everything on their age. And they don't even need to be old. Like I hear people telling me that even in the 30s, which is so ridiculous, right?
Agreed.
Right. And that is, like you said, just driving more negative energy in. And because you're accepting the negative, and you're just inviting more of that, that magnetism of more negative energy coming in, because like you said, you're accepting it. And I think that's great. So let me ask you this, and I'm sure everyone's asking, well, if your body's a magnet that can attract positive and negative energy, what's the best way to attract more positive energy?
So, the first step is going to just be monitoring your thoughts and then choosing positive thoughts. So you've got to listen to your own inner dialogue and what you're telling yourself, because science has said we think something like 80,000 thoughts a day. Like, oh my God, and imagine all of that energy is either lifting you up or weighing you down. And your body then again is responding to those things that you're saying by either lifting you up and your body becoming optimal, or your body sinking, weighing down, and becoming dysfunctional. So we want to monitor those thoughts. And the moment that you have a negative thought or something that makes you feel heavy, just, say, in your brain, cancel, delete that universe. Okay, what's another way that I can approach this or think about this?
Right.
And then begin to choose those positive ways of looking at any experience, because the truth is that there is limitless possibility. There's always a multitude of ways. That's the way the creator and the universe work, that there's a multitude of ways. That's why we have so many people in this summit, because there's an infinite of ways that you can find healing. Correct. So we want to embrace that. And you want to look at, like, how much are you telling yourself that there's 1,000 reasons for yes, or is there 1,000 reasons for no? And monitor those things and find yourself, catch yourself in those moments, tell yourself in your brain, cancel, delete that, and then just think something positive. Choose those really feel good emotions, focusing on what you want rather than what you don't want. And that's the starting point, because it's like we're getting in a car, and every time we have that negative belief, we get to just sit there in the car. We hit the brake. And all we want to do when we're monitoring our thoughts and begin to choosing something different, we're just taking our foot off the brake, and we begin to slowly roll. And eventually we're going to be speeding down the highway, once we've learned to limit how much negativity we permit ourselves to think about. So that really is the best starting place to do that.
I think what you said at the very end is so powerful, because you said we let in the negative energy that we permit ourselves to think about, right? Because I think especially nowadays, there's just so much negative energy around us. There's negative energy in the news. There's negative energy in the work. There's a negative energy in our families. Like, there's just so much expected of us on a daily basis. You need to do this. You're not good enough for that. You're behind schedule here. You need to be worried about this. And it's just all negative energy. And it's like you said, that magnet is just going to pull all the negative energy, and it's just going to squash you down, making you smaller and smaller. And you get to choose. Like, that is your choice to choose which of those sources is actually causing you stress or giving that negative energy. Like, if it's news, then stop watching the news, right? It's as simple as that.
Absolutely.
Right? And if a lot of people are saying, well, we have this problem, and can you help me? And I think a lot of people they are the yes people. Like, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Everything is, yes, I can do that. Yes, I'll follow up on that. And I think it's like you said, we have the choice. We need to decide to say, no, that's not my monkey. Get that monkey off my back. You have your monkey back, and I'm going to do what's important for me. And I think that's very important how you said that. It's our choice to choose our positivity. One of the other questions I want to ask, one more last follow-up question.
Okay.
It was a great lesson. Is you mentioned that with the positive thoughts, you need to know to think positively of what you want. And I think that, a lot of people don't actually know what they want. So if they don't know what they want, it's very hard to think positive thoughts.
Yep. And so it's like, it's really easy to think about what you don't want. Oh, I don't want to be stuck. Oh, I don't want to feel bad. Well, if you don't want to feel bad, what the hell do you want to feel? Like, really define that. Do you want to feel good? Do you want to feel happy? Do you want to feel peaceful? Do you want to feel like your body is working for you? People just say, oh, my body, it just like, it tanks. I've got no energy. Well, how do you want to feel? Do you want to feel energized? So we got to stop focusing on what we don't want and get into what do you want and define that, because that's our projection, and we can project ourselves into what we don't want just by focusing on it, or we can project ourselves into what we actually want. And this is, it's one of my favorite things to do in my one-on-one sessions with people is ask them, okay, this is your problem. What's your goal? How do you want to feel? And so many times I would say probably like 40 to 50% of the time, people have no idea how to state it in a positive way. Right. And so we've got to build those muscles. We're just so used to negative energy and criticism and what we don't want. We've got to start thinking about what we do. Yeah.
That is so true. I think, like you said, we're just so used to all the no's. Sometimes we're afraid to ask for what we want. Right. And, and it's funny because you're just asking yourself to have permission to have what you want. You're not actually asking anyone else, right?
Correct.
So it's like you said, it's sort of like saying, well, you know what you don't want, and yet you don't know how to reverse that 180 to start telling you that what it is that you want, right? If you're saying, I feel tired all the time, I think that's great because so many people are tired all the time. Well, if you're tired all the time and you're not doing anything about it, of course you can be tired. But if you're already on top of that, if you are doing something, you're still feeling tired all the time, now you're focusing on the negative energy, but you're saying after work, I feel energetic. Guess what? You can feel energetic. You're not going to feel tired, right? The mind does have this really amazing ability to talk to your body and either lift it up or lift it down.
Yep, absolutely. And everything you say is a self-fulfilling prophecy. It gets created. Your body is like, oh, you want to do that? Oh, you're tired of being tired, but you're focused on I'm tired. And so your body's like, oh, you're tired. I can do more of that, instead of saying I'm energized. And once you start saying every day and every way, I feel more and more energized, something as simple as that, or like, wouldn't it be nice to feel energized? And you're focusing on what you do want, then your body's like, oh, you want that? I can do more of that. And it starts creating that experience for you. Mm-hmm. So we want to make sure, like, what self-fulfilling prophecy are you creating right now with your thoughts, with what you're saying to yourself, what's going on in your mind, the internal dialogue, and begin to change it. Yeah.
That's powerful. I think that's great when you're saying what self-fulfilling prophecy are you telling yourself. And, I think I'm going to call this episode just that.
Awesome.
Are you telling yourself? I think that's a great title for this episode. So, Crystal, why don't you share with our viewers what are we going to talk about next week?
So what are we talking about? Oh, okay. That you don't have to figure it all out by yourself. Like, we have this whole network of like spiritual network available to us to take us out of our normal perspective and let us see it from a different perspective. So we're going to talk about that you're never alone, that you can have that support. You can have that really super aware of limitless possibility support. And yeah, so that's part of the process of theta healing is really allowing yourself to be guided. So yeah, we're going to talk more about that next week and then continue to build from there.
That's perfect. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts today, everybody. Yeah. Remember, concentrate on your positive thoughts, squash those negative thoughts, stop fulfilling your self-prophecy to feel bad. Start feeling energy. Yeah. Start channeling all the good energies around you, and then you're going to start seeing better health. You're going to start seeing better job opportunities. You're just going to start seeing so many better things happening for you. Like it's just dropping like dominoes, but in a positive direction.
That's right.
Thank you, Crystal. We look
You're
forward
welcome.
to seeing you next week.
Yep. I look forward to seeing you all next week too.
Bye now.
Bye.